Hi Stampers, this is Amy Whalen with Amy's Inklings, and we are going to be making what I'm calling this purse-like item using our top Note Bigz Die. Now this is an item that Stampin' Up! Has had for some time, but it's retired, and the last day to order this will be June 2nd of this year. So if you like it, it's been on your wish list, which it should be because it's fabulous, then you need to place this now. You can go over to my online store by using my blog and hitting shop now, or you can give me a call and I'll be happy to help you. So let's go ahead and get started. Now the other day I actually did this portion for you. I did the heat embossing, did a little tutorial on heat embossing just to kind of get that step of the project done. So we already have this one side, but we actually need two. So I'm going to show you how to cut the other piece using our Big Shot. And I know this is very close, so I apologize, and I'll probably be shaking the table a bit too. If you start with a piece of cardstock that's roughly 4 by 6, that will be enough. And you're going to take, where am I? Here we go. Let me move the Big Shot for a moment. You're going to start with one of our cutting plates, and then kind of line up the cardstock over that die cut. Put that down, and then you put another plate on top. You don't need a platform when you use these Bigz dies because they're already thick. So let's bring this Big Shot back into the view of the camera, and I'm going to shoot that through. And again, it might shake the camera a bit, so bear with me. And we get the Big Shot out of the way. And there you have it. Isn't that neat? So we've got our two sides. Let me move that out of the way. Alright, so now we have the front and the back of the purse. We're going to go ahead and stamp this section. We're using Crazy About You, which is an incredible stamp set. I use these images quite often. If you're familiar with my blog, you've seen these two a lot. But we're going to be using this, what I'm calling a dahlia. And again, this is Crazy About You, a phenomenal stamp set. I'm going to start with Island Indigo. The original was made with Marina Mist, but it desperately needs to be re-inked, so we're going to switch it up and do Island Indigo. It's a very strong and very juicy pad at the moment, so it's going to appear much darker than the original. It will dry a little bit lighter, but as I said, it's going to be much darker than what I originally did. Okay, now you see that little boo-boo? That's fine because it's going to be covered up. So let's cover that up. Now we're going to punch out the flowers, and I might need to trim the paper a little bit. Let's see, I do. We'll just cut around the corner so it fits inside the punch better. Okay, now the flower and the punch, of course, have fat petals and thinner petals, so it's just a matter of lining them up. And I have to kind of hold my breath. There we go. That's one. I can't talk while I concentrate. And you're probably thinking, are you kidding? That's all you do. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's see. Okay. Okay. I like this one. That's the one that's going to go on top. So we're going to go ahead and punch a crushed curry flower using the flower from the Itty Bitty Punch Pack. And I'm going to take our Stampin' Pierce mat, the blunt end of our piercing tool, to make it curl up. Let's go ahead and add one of the big fat pearls. Yep, you've got it. There we go. And then we're going to use a Stampin' Dimensional to pop the top flower up a little bit, give the flower a little dimension. Then we're going to use a little bit of my all-time favorite Tombow glue to attach the little itty bitty flower. There we go. I'll let that dry for a moment. Okay. Alright, so now we can go ahead while that dries. I'm going to show you the bag that I used. I picked this up from a local craft store. This one I believe was from Michael's, but you can get them in a variety of colors. I like white, but I also got craft. And for this particular project, we're actually going to cut off 3 inches. We only want 3 inches. So with the bag flat, I'm going to line it up at 3, and I'm going to cut, and that's all we need. All right, so we have the front, and then we have the back, and I want to show you how I attach the purse straps. I made a little tool. I wanted to be sure that my ribbon was coming up from the correct sides and right places so that when it was done, see, these are in the right place, they're the right length and whatnot. So I made a little tool. I just punched out the top note, made some lines with a ruler so that I can make those dots to show where the ribbon starts and ends. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to line it up at the bottom there. By the way, this is 6.5 inches of ribbon. This is the Hello Honey stitched ribbon. It's on our retired list. It will be going out if it's not run out already. But again, of course, you can use any coordinating color. So I taped it down, and then I'm going to bring this one around. I'm going to place the bottom at that point. There we go, just like that. And we're going to tape, oops, stuck to my finger. We're going to tape it there. All right, so now we need, and to save time, I already did the other side. And here's a side note, and I speak from experience. Before applying the ribbon, or even applying the bag, make sure you're right side up since you have a monogram. Duh. I know that seems so obvious, but not for the nimble-minded. All right, like a moi. All right, so let me get my baggie. Okay, so this is how we're going to attach it. I'm using my snail glue, and I'm just going to put it all the way around the edge. And I'm going to stick it in the middle like that. Okay? I'm going to fold that flap down. This is a gusseted sack, which is what I wanted. I wanted to be able to open and have a wide base, like a purse would. And then now I'm going to put this one right on top. And you just simply match up the points and the edges, just like that. Okay? And now you have your purse that you can open up like that. Isn't that neat? You could even keep it just like that, but I wanted it to be more like that way. So, see? Isn't that neato? So the last thing we need to do is attach this, and then we're done. Again, I'm going to take another Stampin' Dimensional. Make sure that when I put my flower down, I'm covering all those ends of stems right there, which I mentioned in my last tutorial, and I put it down just like that. Perfect. Lovely. So there you have it. This is Marina Mist. This is Lost Lagoon. I kind of like this one better. It's more bold. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I'd love for you to come back to Amy's Inklings. Thanks so much. Oh, and by the way, again, Top Note Die retiring. You only have a couple more days to order it. June 2nd if the inventory is not already out. Same thing with this particular ribbon, the Hello Honey Satin Stitched. Thanks so much. Come by again. Bye-bye.